Have you ever had someone say to you, just think positive, or look on the bright side, or don't dwell on the negative? I know that I have. And although the person who said this to you was most likely well intentioned, statements like these can leave us feeling guilty or ashamed for experiencing negative emotions and can prevent us from addressing and resolving underlying problems. So, these are just a few examples of a term that I want to talk about that affects us all, and it is called toxic positivity. I am Lori Lander, a life coach for women, and I'm going to share with you what toxic positivity actually is, how to recognize it, and also how to avoid it. So let's dig in. So, what actually is toxic positivity? Well, it refers to the practice of maintaining an overly optimistic attitude, even in difficult or challenging situations. So it's the idea that we should always be positive no matter what. But the truth is, this kind of thinking can be incredibly harmful, and it can be seen as a way of ignoring negative emotions and sweeping problems under the rug, which can really be damaging and harmful to our mental health and also our relationships. So recognizing toxic positivity and learning to acknowledge and validate a full range of emotions, including the negative ones, can be beneficial for mental health and well-being. So I want to talk to you and go a little bit deeper about how to recognize it. One sign of toxic positivity is constantly insisting that everything is fine or everything is great in the face of adversity. Also, making light of a situation or minimizing its impact, even when it's causing you significant stress or pain. These are signs that you may not be dealing with the reality of the situation, and you may be hiding or burying your true feelings. And this is very common, especially among women. We tend to put on our happy face in fear of being judged if we show vulnerability or if we feel pressure to keep up our appearance and maintain a certain image. So this kind of behavior can be a way of avoiding difficult emotions, and it can also be really harmful by preventing you from processing and coping with the situation. And this can lead to a buildup of stress, of anxiety, and even depression. Acknowledging and processing our true feelings and emotions is an important part of personal growth. Another sign of toxic positivity is ignoring or dismissing valid emotions and experiences. I see this often, and it saddens me. If you're brushing off your own sadness or anger, or telling others to do the same, that can be really harmful. This type of thinking invalidates or minimizes the reality of difficult situations and emotions, and it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and isolation. Saying to ourselves, just snap out of it, or stop feeling sorry for yourself, are two common examples. And this kind of self-talk can actually dismiss the validity of your feelings and discourage you from exploring or expressing your emotions. Another example could be when you share your problems with a friend and they respond with dismissive comments such as, it's not that bad, or just let it go, rather than taking the time to really listen and offer support. These kinds of comments can also cause you to feel like you can't be honest and open about your feelings, which can lead to a lack of that emotional intimacy that we really need in relationships. In both of these cases, the negative emotions are not acknowledged or validated, and the person experiencing them may feel unsupported or invalidated. It is worth noting that dismissing or ignoring negative emotions can happen unconsciously, so just remember to be aware of our own reactions and our own responses to others, and to practice empathy and understanding. And by acknowledging our own and other negative emotions, it helps to validate and normalize these emotions, which can make negative emotions feel less overwhelming and easier to manage. And this can also help build your resilience and the capacity to cope with difficult situations. A third sign of toxic positivity is feeling guilty or ashamed for experiencing negative emotions. And to provide you with more clarity on this one, I want to share some examples that may resonate with you as I have personally experienced all of them at some point in my life. For example, feeling guilty for feeling sad or depressed when others are going through worse situations, or being ashamed for feeling angry or resentful when someone has done something hurtful or unfair. Another example is feeling guilty for feeling anxious or stressed when others seem to be handling similar situations with ease, or feeling guilty for feeling overwhelmed when others appear to have it all together. This is a very common one from women. Additionally, feeling ashamed for feeling lonely or isolated when surrounded by people who seem to have fulfilling social lives, or feeling guilty or ashamed for crying or expressing sadness in fear of being perceived as weak or ungrateful. These examples show how easy it is to feel guilty or ashamed for experiencing normal and healthy negative emotions. However, such feelings can lead to self-criticism and lack of self-compassion, and can prevent you from understanding and managing your emotions in a healthy way. So it is important to remember that negative emotions are normal and they are a part of life, and acknowledging them is really important for personal growth and well-being. Now that we have covered how to recognize toxic positivity, I want to provide you with some powerful strategies to help you avoid it. Toxic positivity is a common issue that can have negative consequences on our emotional well-being and our ability to cope with difficult situations. However, by learning how to avoid it, you can be better equipped to resolve problems and find healthy coping methods. So let's go ahead and explore some practical strategies that you can use to avoid this. Number one, allow, acknowledge, and validate your own emotions. Recognize and accept your emotions rather than suppressing them. This allows you to take a pause and understand your emotions rather than trying to ignore them. And this helps provide you with an opportunity to address and work through your problems. Number two, practice self-compassion. Oh, I can't stress this enough. Give yourself permission to feel negative emotions and be kind and understanding towards yourself. Talk to yourself as you would a loved one who is feeling the same emotions, and provide yourself with the comfort and the support that you may be needing in that moment. Number three, encourage open and honest communication and practice offering a listening ear, and also support when needed, especially during challenging times. Number four, practice empathy. This is another super important one. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes rather than dismissing or disregarding them. A couple ways you can do this is by showing someone support, by saying, it's okay to feel upset. Let's talk about it. Or I'm here for you. Let's work through this together. Number five, be mindful of your words. Be aware of the language that you use when you are addressing negative thoughts or negative emotions, whether they are your own or they're someone else's. So you want to avoid using phrases like just be positive or don't dwell on the negative. And instead, use words that are encouraging and supportive. An example of this might be, I understand that this is a difficult situation and I'm here to support you in any way that I can. Or, it's okay to feel however you are feeling right now. How can I help you work through this? Number six, find healthy ways to cope. It is important to come up with a few realistic strategies to help you manage your emotions, such as exercising, yoga, journaling, meditating, or talking to a friend or a professional. Toxic positivity can have a negative impact on our emotional well-being and our ability to cope with difficult situations. And by understanding the concept of toxic positivity and how it manifests, we can learn to recognize and avoid it. Also, it's important to remember it is okay to not be okay, and to allow ourselves and others to process and feel their emotions in a healthy way. Overcoming toxic positivity is a process, but by being conscious of the way we communicate and the way we act, we can choose to adopt a healthier approach to dealing with life's challenges. Now, I want to ask you, are you a woman who may be lacking confidence, feeling overwhelmed, or simply stuck in your life? Do you want to gain the clarity necessary to make a change, but you're unsure what your first step should be? If so, make sure and click on the link below to watch my free video training where you will learn the first essential step to making a positive change so that you can prioritize what is most important to you, gain peace of mind, and the motivation necessary to create an exciting new chapter in your life filled with confidence and purpose, passion, and also connection. In this free video, you'll learn the first essential step to making a change in your life. You'll learn 6 key elements involved in this first step and a bonus step, the second step in the process to keep your momentum going. Plus, you'll receive a free download to help you get started today. So make sure, click on the link below to attend this mini training. I am so excited for you to learn this simple step-by-step process about how to make a positive change beginning today.